Hi everyone, thanks for joining for another week's edition of What's in the Red Box. If you've been following along the last few weeks, you'll remember that I'm doing a special presentation of some new pieces. Today I'm going to feature 3 new things that nobody has seen before. They are not on the website, and for the next 24 hours I will be giving a special price on these 3 pieces. So I'm really excited to show you what's in the red box. Should we start? Wait a minute. I want to tell you a little story, because what you might remember, or if you know me for a little while, is that I have an American mother and a Dutch father. And every summer we would go over to the Netherlands and visit that side of the family. And I distinctly remember as a child that my mother we would go to this lapidary, this rock store, and every year my mom would pick up a little gemstone or rock egg, and this would be her memento of the trip. And as a kid, I remember going into this sort of dark, small front room of a house, and it had some cases in there. And I just remember it sort of being a dark place, and there were no lights on for some reason until he would come out from the back. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But I suppose if I was a good child at the time, I would get rewarded with being able to pick out my own rock. And I think that this really fueled my love of gemstones from a really young age. And by the way, my mother still has this whole bowl of gem eggs, which is kind of fun. And I still have some of the pieces that I got back those days. So like this piece of dendritic agate is still in my collection. This rainbow sparkly stone, I don't even know what this is anymore. And this really beautiful pink formation with pyrite on it. And I mean, you just look at the sparkles and the colors, and how can you not totally fall in love with nature? So this is a great segue into our first piece that I'm going to highlight today, because we're going to talk a little bit about pyrite. So the first pair are these small ear clips. 2 weeks ago, I spoke about some big ones. So these are the small versions, and I'm wearing a pair today, so you can kind of get an idea of scale when you look at my ears too. But so pyrite is these little gold sparkles in the black slate. And you might remember pyrite from your years. You get given this shiny piece of gold and you think, I'm rich, it's gold, but it's not gold, it's pyrite. And it's actually a pretty common mineral. It's found all around the world, and it comes from the Greek word pyre, P-Y-R, meaning fire. But this name was given to pyrite because if you struck it against steel, it would actually create a spark. And a fun fact is that pieces of pyrite were also used as spark-producing material in flintlock firearms. So that's kind of fun. I don't know if they still are. So you might also think about slate and think about, where else do you see slate, right? You see it in ground, but you also would see it in roofing. And if you go and take a close-up look of those tiles on a roof, you might actually see little flecks of pyrite in those tiles, which is kind of a fun thing. So what's unique about these is actually the quality of the cubes on the rock. That's what's unique in these pieces and makes them special. And I've combined them with rose-cut brown diamonds, citrine, and grossular garnet. Now, this pale yellow grossular garnet, remember when I was talking to you about garnets and you were kind of depressed if they were your birthstone? This is the yellow version. Garnet comes in lots of colors. It comes in red, it comes in purple, it comes in like this bright green, it comes in yellow. The world is your oyster, so don't worry. Garnets are pretty amazing. And these have an incredible amount of brilliance to them, and they really sparkle from far away. And mixed in with those slate with the pyrite, it's like a sparkly, fun earring. So you can kind of get an idea of scale here. So speaking of garnets, that's going to bring us to our next piece. This incredible pendant. I hope you can get a good close-up of this, because the centerpiece of this medallion is a slice, if you will, of spessartite garnets on clear quartz crystal. And this is extremely rare. And what sets it apart from anything else is the combination of the vibrant orange garnet on the clear quartz. You can really see, even if I give you the back, you can see totally right through that clear quartz. And that's really unusual. And to be honest, this is actually a high-end specimen found in China. And there's an unsaid rule that you don't cut up specimens in the gem world, but I know somebody who does. I'm not going to tell you who it is so they don't get in trouble. But lucky for me, they took beautiful pieces of this and cut it up into what I can use in jewelry, which I find is really exciting because although I do love specimens, this way you can take this beauty with you and wear it, and you can enjoy it. Other people can enjoy it. It's not just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. So that's what's really fun about this specimen here. Okay, so what do I mix in here? I mixed in citrines. This is a pale yellow rose-cut diamonds and a stunning, huge Madeira citrine. So that's just a beautiful, really exciting piece. Oh yeah, let me see if I can hold it up. So for an idea for scale, where am I here? There we go. Don't forget, all of these pieces are getting a very special 24-hour quarantine price, if you will. So if you're curious, send me a message. Let me know. It's only until Saturday afternoon. All right, so our last and final pair of earrings today that I'm going to highlight are, again, some very small ear clips like the first pair. And these feature Black Lake Turquoise from Kazakhstan. And the dark that you see is actually graphite. And it's not graphite like in a pencil that you would think is soft. It's actually very hard. It's a super dense graphite. And so it's about a 7 on the Mohs scale. And there was a fissure within that graphite, and it's now filled with turquoise. And, you know, turquoise came in and filled that vein. So how does this happen? Okay, so rainfall infiltrates down through rock and soil, and it dissolves small amounts of copper in it. And then when the water is later evaporated, the copper combines with aluminum and phosphorus to deposit tiny amounts of turquoise on the walls of the subsurface fractures, which is the subsurface material, which is the graphite. The fun fact is actually that turquoise is the name of the mineral itself. Very few minerals have a color that is so well known and so characteristic that the name of the mineral becomes commonly used. And other examples of this would be gold, silver, and copper, right? Those have become common in our language and are not just a scientific Latin name or something else that nobody would know. So these beauties, I've mixed in 18 karat gold. They have rose-cut brown diamonds, apatite, and these really luminescent chrysoprase that I've held on to, I think, probably for 15 years and finally had a really great opportunity to use. So these are a beautiful earring. They're the same size as what I've got in my ear, so you can kind of get a great idea for scale. So that's number 3 today for our quarantine sale. This is your special sneak peek. I'll just run through them one more time so you know what I've been talking about. This is the first pair with the pyrite and slate. Then you have the incredible pendant with spessartite garnet. And number 3 on today's sale are the Black Lake Turquoise small ear clips. So don't forget, these are not on the website. So if you have questions, DM me directly, send me a message, send me an email, and I'll get you all the details and the prices. And you can take these beauties home with you. Thanks for joining. See you next week, same time, same place.